everybody so much for coming. And Eric, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to host this for us. Teamzy has really been incredible for us. I've used it pretty much since I started the business and moved through the marketing plan pretty quickly as a result. Leah kind of echoed more about that a few minutes ago, but we're really excited.
Thank you very much. I am excited to be here as well. For those of you who haven't met my name's Eric Johnson. I am the creator and CEO of Teamzy. And what I'm going to do tonight is, for those of you who haven't seen Teamzy or don't know what it is, it's a really cool software that makes your business easy and fun. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how to use Teamzy, how to set it up. I'll show you the best workflows for a power hour. Basically, you can do all your income producing activities in 30 minutes to an hour tops every day. That's it. That's all you need to do to build a successful business. I'll show you how to do that. But before I jump into that, I want to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing it's two things. It's a philosophy and a system. And it's what Teamzy is built upon. So Teamzy is more than just software to make you efficient. It actually has an approach to the business. And it might be a little bit different than what you've heard from a lot of trainers in our industry. I have a feeling, though, it may be, based on just who your leaders are, it may be what you're used to hearing, which is awesome, and that's why you're here, so it's great. But I want to take you a little deeper into relationship marketing first. Then I'll take you through, show you how to set it up and how to crush a power hour together. What I want you guys to do is, if you have questions, save them, put them in the little Q&A thing at the bottom of your screen. I'll do a live Q&A at the end. If you have any questions on anything we covered tonight or anything else regarding Teamzy, I'd be happy to answer them. So let's jump in. This is what I want to talk about first: how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay, so a little bit about me, my backstory. I've been a professional business coach and consultant for 15 years. I help people build their business, and I do it by relationship. That's what I've been doing. I actually fell into network marketing by accident. I found some products that really helped me regain my health. I lost a lot of weight. And I was just sharing what I was doing out of sheer joy of the products I was using. And I found out that there was really a cool business opportunity in network marketing. And so as I started looking at that, I knew, as somebody who helps other people build their business, I knew I needed a system or some sort of tools that would help me leverage my time so that I could build my business in an hour a day. That's all I had. How many of you guys can relate to that time constraint? Busy people. Yeah. So, in other industries, there are professional tools that people use. So I went looking. I just assumed 35 million people in direct sales. There's got to be, that's just in the United States, that there's got to be some tools, right? But there weren't. I really couldn't find anything. I mean, I did find a couple of things, but they were like most software. Now, how many of you guys are like me? Like, software is kind of a dirty word. Like, I hate using stuff like that. And what I did find was really complicated, clunky, hard to use. And I'm really not a techie person. I needed something simple and easy, and it had to be based on relationships. So long story short, we built Teamzy because I needed it. It just wasn't there. And so I know some really smart guys, and they put it together for us. So that's kind of the quick story of Teamzy. Now let's jump back into relationship marketing, because it's really important. A lot of times you'll hear this term relationship marketing, and a lot of people will think this means selling stuff to your friends. How many of you think maybe that's what it was? Relationship marketing. It's not just selling stuff to your friends. Relationship marketing is a philosophy where we put relationships first, and where we intentionally work on building relationships as a marketing strategy. Make sense? Now, what I want you guys to understand is that this is actually a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Why am I telling you this? Because you're business owners now. And the first decision you have to make when you start a business is, what lead generation system will I use in my business? How will I generate leads? Because as a business owner, I want you to know that your business is not marketing and selling cutting-edge nutritional supplements. That's not your business. Your business is generating leads. As the business owner, your business is generating leads for your business. You're in the lead generation business. It's a mindset shift I want you to have right here at the beginning of our talk tonight. Because no matter how busy you are in a day, no matter how many distributors you sign up in a day, you are not building your business if you're not doing the work that will generate new leads for your business. Make sense? Now, here's the good news. Developing and deepening relationships is your primary duty as a business owner. Okay, developing and deepening relationships is your primary duty as a business owner. Now, if you go to business school, some of you probably did. Maybe you did. They'll teach you that the duty of a business is to make profit. And I will tell you that your duty is to develop and deepen relationships. It's a little bit different than what they teach. So you're in the lead generation business so that you can meet new people and build relationships with them. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Now, if you guys are popping on, make sure you mute. So what we do with those relationships is we turn them into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. So we meet people, we build relationships with them, and we turn them into our advocates. This is the system. Now, traditional direct sales approaches are ask everybody you know if they're interested. 99% of them say no. You go with the 1% that say yes, and you keep going. The difference here is the 99 people who said no, over time, we're going to turn them into our advocates. Every single person you know will either be a distributor, a customer, or somebody who's telling other people about you when you do this right, if that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, this is an important thing. And, Lauren's in my boot camp, so she gets a heavier dose of me talking about this stuff than maybe you guys have yet. But I want you guys to understand something that I'm so passionately behind this concept. Most of what people do in direct sales is not trustworthy. Even trustworthy people do sneaky things, okay? And it drives me nuts. This is why there's a bad reputation. This is why so many people are skeptical and guarded when it comes to looking at this business, because of all the shady things that people have done over the years, right? Back in the old days, it was the invite your old friend dinner or coffee, and then halfway through the meal, you whip out your spreadsheets and your business plan. Oops, got you by surprise, and they feel ambushed. Nowadays, it's more subtle things like hiding, not letting anybody know on Facebook or Instagram that what your company is, or, trying to create intrigue and all this stuff. Here's the thing. Relationship marketing depends on trust. You need to be upfront and honest, and you can't do anything that makes people feel like you tricked them. You don't need to build intrigue. What you need to do is build trust. Okay? You don't need to build curiosity. You need to build trust. Because in our business, we solve problems. What you need to do is let everybody know that you solve a specific problem and what it is, and so everybody knows it. That's how you build advocates. Then when they come across that problem, they say, you need to talk to Lauren. Lauren solves that problem all the time. Does this make sense? It depends on trust. Now, let me tell you how to build trust. I have a couple things. Trust also makes the work fun, because when people trust you, you don't have to convince them. You get right to helping them. Right? And those of you who were here at the very beginning, Leah was talking about the joy in her business. The joy is back in her business. Why? Because trust makes the work fun. It takes the ickiness out. There's no ickiness, because you don't have to do any of that icky salesperson stuff or ever feel that way. And you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, you're going for yeses. So let's talk about this. How do you build trust? There's 4 ways, 4 essential ingredients to building trust. I'll go through them really quickly, and then I'll break them out for you. Make sure you guys are taking these down, because you'll want to share these with team members who aren't here. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay, character. Number 3 is competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay, 4 essential ingredients to building trust. So let's talk about these really quick. Chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? In other words, don't spend all your time figuring out why you're different than other people, okay? Because you want to help everybody, right? So I think about social media, for example. Social media is about what you have in common with other people, okay? If you guys are business, people can get into it on social media. Business owners can't. This is your public marketing. Make sense? Okay. Other thing is, when you're meeting people, that's what you're looking for. Common ground. Ask questions. Figure out what you have in common. There's this kind of a cool thing. Have you guys ever heard of 6 degrees of separation? Have you guys ever heard of that? A friend of mine, Marty, I used to work with him all the time. In my corporate career, he was the facilities guy, the guy who took care of the building. So he knew everybody. He said it was only 2 degrees of separation, and he could prove it. It was the most amazing thing. You could introduce him to any person, and he could ask them a series of 10 questions and figure out who they knew in common. It was amazing. He did it everywhere. He did it on vacation, different countries. It was amazing. Isn't that cool? We are so connected. We have stuff in common with everybody. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice that character is not something you have. You don't have character. It's something you do. Character is something you do. It's an action you take. And a lot of times we feel like character is ours intrinsically, and we get offended if somebody questions it. You guys ever know, you need to do that? I had a guy flip me the bird today on the freeway, and I was offended because I was like, you think I'm trying to do something that I'm not right now. Questioning my character, right? What are you going to do? That's just Merry Christmas in some places. But my point is it's something you do. People will question your character, and that's okay, because it's your job to demonstrate it to them. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you post, the way you serve your customers, all of it needs to show how much you care about others. Okay? And then they'll understand your character. Don't tell people you have character, show them. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate that you're good at what you do and you're a business person. In other words, can you help me? I need help. Can you help me solve my problem? Right? Remember, we're in the problem-solving business. Are you competent enough with your products to help me, to get me the right products, to get me on the path that I need to be on? And the second half is, do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Do I feel that you can help set me up for success? Are you showing me that you can do that? Okay. Now, some of you may be more competent than others based on your experience and how long you've been in the business. Do I have any new people? Anybody kind of new? I can't see everybody, but I'm assuming I had a couple hands go up. For you new people, here's the deal. A lot of times you'll hear someone say, it's okay if you're new, just fake it till you make it. Just go in there with swagger, right? You guys heard this before? Here's my encouragement to you is, remember we're talking about trust. Never fake it. Don't fake it. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to fake it. You just need to lean into the competence of your team. Okay, if you're new, you lean into your team. Hey, I'm new, but I am connected to some of the most experienced people in this business. Okay? Any question I can't answer, I can have answered for you immediately. I'll just send a text to get the answer. Oh, you want to join the business? Great. We'll get mentored together by the best in the business. So lean into your team if you're new. Don't fake anything. Just be honest. The truth is most of the people that you know have seen you put your pants on backwards, and they're not going to believe you anyways, right? So lean into the competence of your team. Leaders teach new people to lean into your competence until they build it themselves. Okay. Chemistry, character, competence. One principle on these 3 before I move on to number 4, and that's this. When someone's going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Hold on, let me just shut that wind tunnel off real quick. There it is. I just updated my computer, so everything's a little different. Okay. All right, we're muted again. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. Do you trust me? Do I care about you? Are you good at what you do? Oh, you know what I want to say? One more thing about this principle before I move on to the next slide. When you have objections in your business, it could be any objection, price, ingredients, whatever. All objections come from these questions. These questions. Now, these aren't out loud questions. I call these heart questions. You might call these subconscious questions. These are more of like an emotion that people feel. And if they don't feel affirmative in these 3 things, they will have objections, and that's normal. Okay, so just as a professional business owner, learn to overcome the objections. But understand you still need to work on the relationship. You have to continue investing in the relationship until they know these things are true about you. Make sense? Okay. Number 4 is consistency. Consistency. How important is it to be consistent to earn trust? Any parents? Right? It's the most important thing. Consistency. Don't tell me, show me consistently, and then I'll trust you. I love this principle. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This is, by the way, this principle is from one of my favorite books that I'm going to recommend to you guys. It's called, can you see that on my little thing? It's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. I'll put it up here for you. I have it on my slide. Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. I highly recommend, if you have not read that, especially you leaders need to read that, and anyone else who wants to be. Read that book. It's a good book. He talks about this whole idea that people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. How many of you have been told by somebody that you inspire them? Have you been told that? And is it kind of bizarre when it happens? You think, well, I'm just a normal person like you, but here I am inspiring people. And what it is about you that is inspiring is this idea of consistency. People see you being consistent, and they respect it so much, and it inspires them. And this, by the way, also attracts people to your team, right? When they see you being consistent, they see you doing that. They want some of that in their life too, and it attracts them to you. Consistency, number 4, one of the most important ones. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you are consistent products of your product? You use your products as part of your lifestyle. Let me see your hands. Hopefully everybody, right? How many of you consistently share on social media, share your story, things like that? Good. Good, I see hands going up. Perfect. So the question on the screen is the real question, though. This is the checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar would say. Are you as consistent with your relationships? And what do I mean by this? Are you consistently in touch with people you know? How many of you guys feel like you're doing pretty well with that? Well, you guys don't count you Teamzy superstars that are already doing this, okay? This is important, though, because the principle is this. People won't believe you till they see you. People won't believe you till they see you. What do I mean by this? Look, you guys are on a journey. Some of you have had transformation in your health, your finances. You've had a changed life through this. And people are watching you share this story on social media. They are watching you with incredible interest. Some of you might even get a lot of interest on posts. You know, sometimes I'll put a post up and I'll get, well, gosh, the post that said Juice Plus and Teamzy are partnering got like 300 comments. Wow. That's great, right? That is like a tiny percentage of the people I'm connected to. How many of you guys will get a lot of, make sure that you guys are muting. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. Okay. How many of you guys will get a post like that with 100 likes or something, and you're like, wow, this is great. And then, but then think about how few people that is compared to who you're connected with.
This is my big phone.
Make sure you guys are muted. I think it's you, Alicia. Not to call you out, but I think it's you. Bam, hit that mute button. There you go. Okay, so what am I saying? People are watching you, maybe 1%, 2% are actually interacting. The rest are watching, though. They are watching you, but they're not connected. They feel like it's like they're watching a TV show. They're seeing you and they're enjoying your journey. They're happy for you. They're excited to see you making progress in your life, but they don't believe you. When you say, join me, they don't believe you mean them. Why? Because they haven't heard from you in a long time, possibly. Maybe not years, right? They won't believe you till they see you. You need to connect with people for them to believe it. Okay, relationship building is a contact sport. You need to be in regular contact with people. You have to be in regular contact with people. Here's the principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Real quick on this, I want to see your faces for this. I have a quick example. If you guys are there, turn your cameras on if they're not on. Oh, everyone's camera's on. Awesome, you guys are bomb. How many of you have ever received a really great card from somebody that you care about? You know, like a card like for your birthday or an anniversary, and it had a handwritten message in it? You know the kind where you get kind of emotional reading it? Okay, so everyone's had a card like that, right? Hopefully, or a few, hopefully. Okay. If not, I want you to put your address in the comments, and I'm going to write one to you. Okay, so you have one. When you get a card like that, what do you do after you read it? And it has that emotional impact on you. How many of you just crumble it up and throw it in the trash can? You're like, that was nice, and you move on with your day. Anyone instant trashers for those beautiful cards? No. You guys keep them, don't you? Do you have like a special drawer or a box or somewhere where you have a stack of these things, right? And you look at them, especially when you move and you think, I got to get rid of these, but you just can't do it. We keep them forever. In fact, this is what's so amazing about this, is that when people pass away, the thing that is most treasured by their descendants, their family, are the letters and cards that they received while they were alive. Isn't that true? Do any of you have letters or cards from somebody that you love who's passed on and you still save them? Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I could do a whole class. Lauren didn't invite me for this, but I could do a whole class on what marketing material will people keep forever. It's actually a handwritten card. Okay. But here's another question. Have you ever received one of these? This is a happy birthday postcard. This particular one is from my life insurance salesman. And what's kind of funny is I actually have two of this one, because 2 years in a row, I got the same postcard for my birthday with the same message. Have you guys received one of these? Dentist, my vet the vet sends one to my dog. Okay. Does this go in the special place with those other cards? Do you think my kids will treasure this card when I'm gone? This goes right in the trash, doesn't it? What is the difference? And this is an important analogy, because you got to think about the way you're communicating and trying to build your business in the same way. The difference between this, the reason this has no value, in fact, I have a trash can in my garage. I have a recycling bin, a shredder, and a trash can in my garage where mail goes, doesn't even make it into my house. How many of you guys do that? Doesn't even make it in. I kept this just to you make a point with it. This has no value because it required no time. What makes something valuable in a relationship is the time invested. Does that make sense? It's the time invested. Somebody writes you a card. They're not playing with Facebook at the same time. That's undivided attention that they gave you. And they took a moment to express their feelings about you. That's unbelievably powerful. And we will save that card forever. It's amazing, right? Now, the same thing goes for, let's talk about communicating on social media. It's like social media is the most amazing invention ever, especially for us building our business. It's the same thing though. Investing time in one person is valuable. A lot of times when we do something for like the larger group, it's not as valuable. Does this make sense? Investing time and connecting with someone is the only way to deepen a relationship. Our job is to deepen relationships. Do you remember that? It was my second slide. Our job is to deepen relationships. You do it by investing time. It doesn't have to be handwritten cards all the time. By the way, though, that should be something you're doing. How many of you guys do that from time to time? Okay, good. And in fact, in Teamzy, you can log it. It's one of your communication types. You can log a greeting card. Write cards to people congratulating them sometimes. It makes a big difference and they'll keep it. But I am talking about, let's say, sending somebody a message on Facebook as opposed to posting on their wall or posting something public, sending them a direct message, letting them know you're thinking about them, investing a few seconds in them. And I'm going to show you how efficiently you can do that in Teamzy to make somebody stay. We'll talk a little bit about the make someone stay mindset, which is how we start conversations in relationship marketing. But I'm just going to tell you guys a quick story that popped in my head as I'm telling you this. One of my friends who I've met through Teamzy, he's a top Beachbody coach that I met years ago. His birthday reminder comes up on Teamzy or on Facebook, says it's his birthday today. So I send him a message. Hey man, I hope you're having a great birthday. And he responded to me. This is crazy, right? He's got a large team, just like you guys. We're talking about somebody that has thousands of people on his team. He said, I got 423 posts on my wall today. But you're the only person who messaged me a happy birthday message. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Now, obviously, this is going to change after more people get trained by me. But my point is, when you take a second, really, to connect with somebody one-on-one, that's what makes an impact in their day. It's huge because nobody's doing it anymore. All right, let me get back and jump in here to my presentation. And we're almost ready for Teamzy, seriously. Okay. I think I have one more slide. So there's your principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. So I've shared with you the philosophy and the system, the idea of relationship marketing, but you got to have a system behind it because nobody is good at this naturally. Nobody is good at this naturally. I'm just telling you right now. Some people are really good at connecting with people, but nobody's good at being consistent. So you need a way to stay in contact with everybody, okay? You need to know when to contact them and also when not to contact them. In other words, take the thinking out. Just know what to do today. Make sense? Also know what to say. You start conversations with people so you don't get stuck staring at your screen trying to think of the perfect message like I used to do. How many of you guys do that? Yeah, you just need to get things started, know what to say, and make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Make sure that nobody falls through the cracks, okay? This is important. Obviously, I'm going to show you that system right now. It's Teamzy. It's built just for you. Let me jump over there. I'm pretty sure. Wait, do I? Hey, here it is. Okay, great. Teamzy. There's my Teamzy dashboard, okay? Now, for those of you who are not using Teamzy, you can get a 30-day free trial to get started with Teamzy, okay? 30 days free. We don't ask for your credit card or anything. Go to teamzy.com and start your free trial. You can actually, if you want to go straight to the Choose Plus page, you can go teamzy.com/JP, okay?
Hey, Eric?
Yeah.
I think I'm only seeing like a Google page right now.
Really? Let me refresh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one?
No, I see only a Google page too, but it does have an icon for a Teamzy sign in, I guess.
Yeah, same here.
Oh,
I only
that's
see the
weird.
Google
Okay, let
with
me
the
try this.
sign in.
Let me see here. It had the little box around me. Do I have 2 Google Chromes? I do. That's why. Let's try this again. Thank you, guys. How's that? That better?
Much better.
Okay,
Much
great.
better.
Guys. All right, so teamzy.com, free trial, 30 days, no credit card required. Get in there and use it. Now, I'm going to show it to you in a second. You're going to be super excited about that, those of you who haven't done it. But I want you to know, I give you 30 full days, full access for a reason. Because I absolutely know that if you follow the system, as I'm going to show you right now for 30 days, you'll generate more than enough income to pay for Teamzy for the next year. Well, actually, you guys get it really discounted. Next 2 years. Okay? I want that. That's why we do the 30-day free trial. And we don't make you jump through any hoops. Just go do it for free, follow the program, generate a bunch of momentum, bring the joy back into your business, as Leah said, and have some fun. Okay, so let's go in and set this up. Once you log into your free trial, you're going to drop into what's called a setup wizard. That's for people like me who are really bad with technology to help set this up as easily as possible. So if you're like me, it's to help you and me. All right. The setup wizard is, I've dismissed it, but you can get it back from settings. It's right here. And this is what it looks like. Okay. Little welcome video from me. And then we're going to do 3 things in here. We're going to set your income goal. We're going to create a powerful why, and we're going to get your contacts into Teamzy. Okay, so you'll be organized. All your contacts will be in one place. You won't be looking for pads of paper you can never find or spreadsheets you haven't updated in 100 years, right? Or sticky notes, things like that. It'll all be in one place. It lives in the cloud, which means you can always get to it as long as you have your phone near you. How many of you go very far from your phone ever? None of us do. All right, let's go on. So we're going to set an income goal. You're going to just see a blank. Put the number in here. I put 150,000. This is the amount of money I'd like to make 12 months from now. Okay? This is the amount of money I'd like to be making 12 months from now, after 12 months of working this system. Put a number in there. Now, what Teamzy does with this number is it backward engineers it and tells you what to do each day to hit it. So you don't have to think, you just follow the plan. Make sense? Now, for those of you who already have a significant income, I know there's a few leaders on this call coming from your business, the number you put in here will be the difference, the amount of growth you want to see. Okay? All right, so I'm going to click continue. And when I click continue, now Teamzy is telling me that I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months if I want to hit that goal. Okay? How many of you that seems like a lot of people to connect with, 4,348? Let me see the hands of who probably wouldn't have signed up if your sponsor was like, hey, it's really easy. You just connect with 4,000 people this year and you're good, right? But here's the good news. I'm going to go to the next page. It breaks it down for me Because when you need to eat an elephant, how do you do it? Do you guys know this one? One bite at a time. This breaks this down for me, and that number is actually something really doable. First, it splits it into 3 groups: prospects, customers, and distributors. And then it goes monthly, weekly, and daily. The daily goal is to connect with 9 prospects a day. And when I say connect, I don't mean send them an offer like, hey, do you want to join my business? I mean just connect, to say hello and make their day. We call it the make someone's day mindset. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I have a goal to connect with 6 of my customers each day and 4 of the distributors on my team. Okay. So that is, what does that add up to? 19 people. And I'm going to show you, that's like 15 minutes of work in Teamzy, maybe 30 if you're brand new. Okay. Now, if you're brand new and you don't have distributors or customers, you can make these zeros and just put everyone on prospects. Okay. Make sense? These numbers are just suggested. Now I'm going to put it back though. Now you've got a couple other goals here that it sets. Invites 3 a day. The invite, by the way, the invite is when you're inviting somebody to learn about the business, to try a product, to get on a 3-way call, to come to an event. Those are invites, right? To come to one of your salad in a jar parties, that kind of stuff. Okay, what's the difference? In relationship marketing, we just start conversations. We're looking for ways to help people. When we generate some interest, we invite them. We don't invite everybody because some people aren't interested in being invited, right? It's like dating. You don't just walk up to somebody and ask them out. You have a conversation first, right? See if there's some interest. Okay, next, ads. So my goal is just 3. So I'm going to try to start 19 conversations each day. My goal is to have 3, invite 3 people to learn about the business out of those 19. And then daily ads are just new people I'm adding to my Teamzy each day. People I'm meeting, people I already know that aren't on my list, people I meet on social media, whatever. Make sense? When I click continue, whatever's in these boxes will set up my Teamzy account to my goals. My dashboard will reflect my personal goals. So each of you will have a customized Teamzy dashboard. And you can come back and change these numbers anytime. I'll show you that later. Okay, let's hit continue. We'll go to the next page. So let me just show you real quick. If I go back to the dashboard, you can see there's my goals. Connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors, invite 3, and add 3. I've already done 1 ad. Okay, make sense? All right, now let's just jump back to where we were. Why? The next step is finding your why. Now, my engineers, because I'm constantly telling them, hey, I need you to get set up quicker. They said, well, if we take out finding your why, it'll knock 15 minutes off setup. I said, no, you can't take out finding your why. I know that you don't need finding your why to use Teamzy, but you do need it to be successful in your business. Guess why I built Teamzy? It's to help you be successful in your business. And if you don't have a why, you're going to end up quitting. Here's the statistic, everyone. 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. Have you guys ever heard that before? Yeah. 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. How many of you have worked really hard this year to sign people up into your business? It would be nice to get that number a little lower, wouldn't it? Some of you are in danger of that. Here's what I want you guys to understand. If you don't understand why you're in this business, you'll quit. We don't like to admit it, but we're all quitters. All of us are. We just are. If something's hard and we don't have a reason to persist, we'll quit. But if we have a good reason, nothing will move us out of the way. Does this make sense? I love Darren Hardy's example in his book, The Compound Effect. Who's read Compound Effect by Darren Hardy? Anyone? Put that one on your list, you guys. It's a good Audible too if you like to listen. That's a great one. Darren Hardy's basically been mentored by all the great writers and speakers in personal growth. So that book like sums it all up. You read that, it's like reading 30 books. He talks about how many, I'm just going to give you this example real quick on the why, and then I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. How many of you would walk across a balance beam along the ground, set on the ground, like at your kid's gymnastics class? How many of you would walk that balance beam for $20? Let me see your hands. Sure, that $20 is big enough why to do that, right? Now, if that balance beam was 80 stories in the sky between 2 skyscrapers, how many of you would cross it for $20? $20 is not a big enough why, is it? No, it is not. How many of you would cross it if the building on the other end was on fire and your kids were on the roof? Do you see the difference? It's about the why. And if you don't dig down deep into your heart and figure out why you're doing this business, it's going to be easy to quit it. Does this make sense? Here's the good news. For those of you who have heard about this before and thought that you needed to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure this out, right? You don't. It's really not that complicated. The truth is that you already know your why. It's in your heart already. You just haven't taken a minute to get it, pull it out, put it in front of you. Okay? How many of you have ever heard the term follow your heart? Does it sound like a good idea? Here's the thing though, it's impossible to follow your heart. Did you know that? Because your brain's in charge. You can wish about following your heart, but your brain is in charge. If you want to follow your heart, I'm going to show you how to do it tonight. You use your heart to reprogram your brain. Make sense? Look, just real quick, without going too deep into psychology, how many of you have driven home from somewhere and you pulled into your driveway and thought, how the heck did I get home? I don't remember driving home. Anyone? Everyone. Your brain actually takes care of you and it runs your life. It puts you in patterns and it repeats it for comfort to keep you from getting overwhelmed. And you are stuck in that pattern. And you will continue to be stuck in that pattern until you start working on breaking free. Does this make sense? The first step is figuring out your why. Now, the first time you do this, it's not going to be that deep, but it's going to be deep enough to move you forward, and you're going to keep doing it. And each year you'll get deeper and deeper and deeper until all the worries that you have right now, if you put your fist in front of your nose, that's like the worries that you have in your life now. Money, relationship, whatever. They're there, and that's all you can see. When you pull all those worries, then you get into whys that are amazing. Change the world kind of stuff, right? Are you guys with me? All right, sorry. I get passionate about this stuff. I can't help it. All right, let's go through this process. I'm going to share my story with you as an example, okay? Obviously, yours is different, but it's an idea. So you're going to answer 5 questions. Simple process. These 5 questions are designed to help you think so you can kind of get into your head a little bit and figure out what your why is and create your first why statement. So I'll take you through the process. The first question is, why did you become a distributor? By the way, leaders, you can actually ask these questions like an interview with new people and help them do this. Why did you become a distributor? Now, here's my story. For those of you who don't know it, I used to be a Beachbody coach. I did their stuff and I lost 60 pounds. It changed my life. I mean, I felt so great. It's just, those of you who've had a health transformation, it's amazing. And so everybody would ask me, oh my gosh, what are you doing? What did you do? What did you do? And I would tell them, oh, I did that P90X thing. I drank the shake. And everybody was running over to sign up for it. I wasn't a distributor. I was just excited about my life. Finally, my wife said, Eric, go be a distributor. Get paid for all those referrals. So I did. I signed up. Okay? I just signed up because I was already sharing it. Next question. What do you hope to accomplish? In my case, I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That's it. Anyone relate to that goal? I just wanted $500 a month extra money. Next question. Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? So just to kind of give you some insight into my story, I wanted to put that money in the bank. I just wanted to save it. I wanted to save $500 a month. Now, to understand why that was an important goal for me, I want you guys to remember, in the beginning of the call, I told you that I've been a professional business coach and consultant for the past 15 years. The majority of people I worked with were real estate agents, which was a good choice because that business was constantly growing, especially here in Southern California. It was always going up, 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 up. And it was good business to be in. How many of you remember the Great Recession at the end of 2008? Yeah, it was scary. I mean, I didn't know what was happening. All I knew was that we were out of business instantly. There were no real estate agents left. They were all gone. And for about 6 months, they weren't there. They weren't there. And I lost my job along with everybody I knew. And we went looking, I had to go find something else. And by God's good grace, I did. And we made it through the recession intact, my family. But we lost our savings. We used it up pretty quickly. And we started living paycheck to paycheck. And I know that that's not unusual, but that's just what happened. So when I started working kind of my side hustle, network marketing, I'd been living paycheck to paycheck as the sole provider for my family for going on almost 7 years. I hadn't saved a penny. And so I thought, wow, if I could save $500 a month, that would feel amazing, right? Because you guys, how many of you have ever lived paycheck to paycheck? It's terrifying. It's terrifying. If you stop, most people don't stop and think about it because they're in survival mode. But if you stop and think about what would happen if you lost your paycheck, in my case, it happened. you're like 3 months from everything being taken away, right? Without that incoming paycheck. So I just wanted to put some money in the bank. So just understanding, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, Lauren, I want to make $300 a month, find out why. What's going on? There's an emotional reason, okay? Why is that important to you? Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? Now, what I wanted to do was buy a new home for my family. I wanted to buy us a new home. I wanted to have some more space for my family. My wife and I, we have 4 kids, and we were living on top of each other at the time. All of us shared rooms, including mom and dad. We shared a room with the nursery, and the master bedroom was the same room. Probably some of you guys can relate to that too. I didn't brush my teeth with a light on for 8 years of my life because there was always a baby asleep in the room, tiptoeing in the room, brushing my teeth in the dark, trying to figure out, you know how many times I put toothpaste on my finger instead of the toothbrush? So it's fine. I just wanted a new house for my family. I dreamt about buying a new house for my family. And I thought if I could start saving money, $500 a month, eventually I'd have enough money to put a down payment on a new home and move us. So I'm thinking, just so you guys understand, 5 minutes in, I'm thinking about buying a new home. 5 minutes ago, I was like, sure, I guess, sign me up, right? Now I'm getting excited about my business. The next question, why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Now, I don't know if buying a home is a meaningful goal, but as I really started to think about this one made me think, right? And I was going, how does it make me feel? I don't know. Here's what I realized. It wasn't that we needed a new house per se. It was that the home represented family. It was symbolic, right? Symbolic of family. And I had always dreamt of having a family and being a key part of their lives. But in reality, I was providing financially for them, but I wasn't around. I wasn't present. I was always working. My kids were growing up and I was completely missing it. I would get up in the morning to kiss my kid, go to work, and I'd kiss my kids goodbye. They're still in their pajamas. And I say, bye kids, go to work. I'd work all day. I'd come home in the evening. My family had already had dinner without me. And I would put the kids to bed. I basically saw my kids in their pajamas. And the 45 minutes a night that I got to spend with my wife wasn't enough to really invest in an amazing marriage that I wanted. And I realized something. I never stopped to think about it, honestly. I felt like I was doing my job. I provided income for my family, right? And I loved my family. This process made me stop and think about it. And I realized that I was missing it completely. This isn't what I wanted. Does this make sense? And so I started thinking about my career, which I was very proud of. See, I was very well respected in my career. And I had a big fancy office with a nice view. Right? All things we're supposed to think we want. And yet I was stuck. There was nowhere further for me to grow. I couldn't earn more money in my career. I was at the top, and yet we weren't saving money. So what was I going to do? We're never going to buy that new house, right? So I was thinking at the beginning of this process that I had this new side hustle that was going to get me extra money. But I started looking at it going, the direct sales opportunity, network marketing, the sky's the limit. There's no limit to what I can do there, right? There's no limit to my growth. The life that I want involves more than a fancy office. I want to be with my kids. I want to be with my wife. I don't want to be worried about losing my job in the next downturn in the economy. I want a different reality than I have. And a switch flipped in my mind. I stopped thinking about network marketing as my side business. How many of you guys have it as your side hustle right now? It's okay. I looked at my job, my career, and I said, that's my side money. Yeah, it's a lot more money right now, but they're going to pay me that salary while I figure out my business. What an awesome opportunity. How many of you have a job outside of your business? Cool. Somebody else is paying you while you figure out your business. Isn't that awesome? The cool news is, even if you give them 9 hours a day or more, you only need to give your business an hour a day with Teamzy, and it won't take long before it takes off. Now, here's the thing. I wrote this why down 3 years. I want you guys to understand, 3 years ago, we launched Teamzy. 3 years, that's it. 3 years ago. I don't know if you can tell, but this office that I'm in right now is almost the square footage of the home I was describing. It's pretty cool. 3 years ago. Wrote this down and it convicted me. Let me share with you my why. This is what I wrote. My why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. How cool is that? I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family. I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. When I created that, my why, it convicted me. This is why I want you to do it. This is why I'm spending time tonight talking to you about this. It convicted me. Once Teamzy was in place, I knew that I could do everything I needed to do in less than an hour a day. Actually, it was more like 30 minutes. But do you think there were still days where I didn't feel like doing it? How many of you, some days you just don't feel like doing it? That's okay. If you didn't raise your hand, you're a liar, but we won't hold it against you. We're all like that, okay? And there may be some days you have a real good reason not to. Some days you just don't feel like it. The bottom line is this. Once you understand your why, now you have to confront yourself and say, oh, do I want to stay stuck in my current reality? Not being with my kids, just working like a slave to somebody else who will fire me the second the economy turns down? Or do I want to spend 30 minutes working towards the future that I dream about? Does this make sense? It convicts you. Now, I want you to know what happened to me when I wrote this down. Within 3 months of writing this down, I left my career and went full-time into my business. I did not have anywhere to work. Our home was too small. There was not a quiet nook in my house for me to work. So I went, some of you guys know the story. Lauren, do you know the story about my shafis? Did I ever tell you this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you're gonna get a new story. when I left my job, I got like a small paycheck. It was enough money to buy a new computer. And I went to Home Depot and I bought a shed. You know the ones you put your lawnmower? How many of you have a shed in the backyard with a lawnmower in it? I got one of those sheds from the front of the Home Depot. I got the one that's just tall enough for me to walk in without bumping my head. And I had it dropped in my backyard on the dirt. They're like, you want a foundation for it, sir? I'm like, foundation? I don't have any money for that. Just drop it in the dirt. It was slightly crooked, right? I drilled a hole in the wall. I ran an extension cord through the hole and I plugged in my computer and I started building my business in the backyard. I have a picture. Look at this. This is one of my business partners, Mike Lopez, and me in my shafis, okay? I just figured it out. Once I had my why, I understood what I needed to do. I went out there and I built the shed, and I didn't actually build it. They drop it like ready to go. I moved in there and I started working. It was hot in the summer. I was just sweat dripping off me. I would do these, I would do trainings, Teamzy launch, and I would do Teamzy trainings in the shed. Sweat pouring off of me. I felt like a Baptist preacher. I would tell them, like, this is just a sweat of passion. Let's go, you know. The point is, my kids called it the shed quarters. The point is, your why is important. Once you have that, it convicts you. And there's no stopping you because you understand what's at stake. Does this make sense? That's why I took a few minutes on this. Don't skip this part. You'll probably quit if you do. Don't let your team skip it. Somebody says, yeah, I really want to build this business. The first thing we need to do is get this why thing started. Make sense? Okay. Where am I? Wow, I'm still setting up Teamzy. Sorry, we're moving slow, but I'm just trying to give it all to you guys. All right, here we go. Whatever you put in this last box, the last one is the one that matters. You write your why statement. What you're going to see is mine. Write over it with yours. Click continue, and it will publish it to your dashboard on Teamzy. Okay? Every day when you do your power hour, read it out loud to yourself. This is how you follow your heart. You do it by programming your brain to listen. Make sense? Okay. The last step is getting all of your contacts into Teamzy. Okay, and there's some videos here on this page to help you. But you can find all the videos in our Help Center. Okay? Teamzy Help Center. So if you lose that page, you can't figure out how to get back to it, you get them in here. So what you're going to do is, if you've already got a team, the first thing you're going to do is go into Virtual Office and get your team imported, right? You're going to get that team out, and there's instructions here on how to do it. Here, I'll show you. There's instructions here. Pretty cool. Okay. So you just select your network, and then you get your specific instructions, okay? So you're going to go in there. You're going to get your distributors into Teamzy. Then you'll get your customers into Teamzy. Then the next group that I recommend you get in there is your Facebook friends, all your Facebook friends in the team. That's, once you have that, you're ready to rock and roll. You can also import, and wherever else you have people, you can bring them into. There's instructions on how to do all that here on the help center. Okay, it's as simple as possible. Now, if you run into trouble and that doesn't help you, just click on the help button and send us a message, and my team will help you right away. We will make sure that you get moved in. This is like Teamzy's your dream home. We're going to be the movers. We'll help you get moved in, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Make sense? So you're going to get everybody into Teamzy in one place so that you're super mega organized. Now, there's one more step for setup. Once you get those files imported, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. We're going to jump over to the team page. If you haven't been in Teamzy, the team page, it's like the CRM page. This is where your whole list lives. Everybody's in here, okay? They're all in here. And when you click on a name, the right-hand side is all their contact information. Make sense? Okay. So when you do your imports, oh, and I want to show you one more thing. If you want to import somebody just one at a time, you just click this little button at the top, add contact. Okay. You can do one at a time there, or you can click this to upload a big file of people. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the team page and let's show you what else to talk about. So once you get them all imported, the next step is ranking them. We rank our relationships. We rank them on a 5-star scale, just like you would rank a movie or a restaurant. Make sense? For some of you, that feels weird ranking human beings this way, but I want you to understand it's important, because if you don't prioritize your relationships, you cannot prioritize time. Okay, if you don't prioritize relationships, you can't prioritize time. But what do I mean by this? Basically this, you should talk more often to the people that you have the best relationship. Make sense? The best people you talk more to. The star system allows Teamzy to change your list so that you're talking more often to the best people. Make sense? Okay, so here's how we do it. You click on these little dots to turn on this menu. Rank mode on. This will automatically turn on for you after you import, by the way. If you want to turn it on yourself, you do it like that. Now we just go down the list and you just click on people. You just rank them by clicking, okay? 5 stars is awesome. 1 star is not that awesome. Everyone will start as 3-star. Okay, so you don't have to really rank everybody. You just want to look for your 4s and 5s. Now let me tell you what these definitions mean. A 5-star is someone most likely to become a customer or distributor, or an existing customer or distributor who's a rock star. 5-star people are also your best friends, your closest family members, your parent, your mom, hopefully. 5-star people you're going to talk to every 30 days. Every 30 days, they're going to come up and you're going to connect with them. Okay? Please don't think, we're not talking about follow-ups right now. We're just talking about connecting with people, just to make someone's day. 4-star people are someone likely to become a customer distributor with a little bit of nurturing, right? Or they're the consistent people on your team already. They show up every 60 days. Every 60 days. 3 stars could go either way. Most people on your list will be a 3-star. They show up every 90 days. So you're still connecting with them 4 times a year, right? 2 stars are getting colder every 120 days. This is making sense? More stars, more often. Less stars, less often. Okay. So you don't have to save this as you go through. When you're done, you just can click away. If you only get through the first 100 people, whatever, you leave off on Ivan, great. Then come back and start with Ivan next time. No big deal. But as soon as you're done, you can navigate back to the dashboard. Now we're all set up. We're ready to crush our power hour. You guys ready? Okay, so let me show you how this works. We already talked about today's activities. These are the goals that we set, okay? If you ever want to change those goals, you just click on this daily goals and get you right back to that spot in the wizard. What we're going to do now is work the power hour. That's this middle section. The power hour module is right here. The left side shows us who's up next. And there's 4 lists: prospects, customers, distributors, and our follow-ups list, okay? And the right side is where we log the activity as we go. Pretty easy, right? All right, let's do this real time. Let me just make sure. Hold on, I'm getting messages. I want to make sure that nothing weird is jumping up. I've had people go, "You shared my message on a call with 50 people or whatever." You know, no, I didn't mean to. You messaged me in the middle of my live call. All right, let me close these out. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. All right, let's do our power. First person on my list is Lauren. I'm going to message Lauren. Now, this is where you may get stuck. You don't know what to say. You're like, what do I say? How do I do this? I've got you covered. I want you to go to scripts right here. Click on it. And I've got some scripts in here that work great to get the conversation started. So we're going to message her on Facebook. I'm going to click on that. And I'll just take this first one here, which says, "Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Okay. I'm going to copy that script. Now what I'll do is I'm going to paste it right in here so I can edit it. Obviously I need to change the name. Okay. Change the name. You can change the wording to whatever you need to. These work great though. You don't really need to, but you might want to, look, I put a little emoticon in there. Now it's the way I like it. I'm ready to go. So what I'm going to do is, you can't actually send it through Teams. You have to go to Facebook to send it. So I'm going to copy it now that I have it the way I want it and send it real quick. We're just going to go to Facebook, look her up. There she is. Okay. And I'm just going to send her this message. It's ready to go. See how easy this is? I just pasted it in there. Boom. "Hi, Lauren, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome." My goal is to connect, make her day, and hopefully she'll respond, right? She'll say, "Oh, it's great to hear from you, Eric," whatever. Great. Now I'm going to go back to Teamzy, and I'm going to log that by clicking the big blue log connect button. Done. So she's off my list. The next person is up. You can see I've got 1 done, 8 left. Jay's the next person. I'm going to use the same message. I've got it on my clipboard already. I'm just going to paste it in. Okay. Change the name. Keep the emoticon. Everything else looks good, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. Do you guys see how quick and easy this is? Again, my goal with these messages is just to start conversations with people in a way that's not obnoxious, not salesy, not icky. I just want to have a conversation. So there's Jay. "Hi, Jay, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome." Send. Boom. Done. Okay. That's log it with the big blue log connect button. Done. 2 down, 7 left. Do you see how easy this is? Now, there's no reason for me to even change this message for my 9 connect goal today because they're all new people I haven't connected. I can just go right down that list. Make sense? Just change the name and go, and I could be done with my prospects in 10 minutes. Now, couple things. Some people will respond immediately, and I want you to not have the conversation yet. Just hold off until you've got all your outgoing messages done before you get distracted by the new conversations you're starting. So I'm going to keep going down my list until I'm done with my prospects. This whole circle will turn blue when I get to 9. And then I'll go to the next list, which is customers. Okay. Make sense? Now I want to connect with my customers. Now, a customer is somebody who's bought something from you before. I don't care if they're current or past. Anyone who's ever bought something from you is your customer. Okay? Because even if they have canceled their monthly auto ship or whatever, they still think of you as their person. Does this make sense? So when my customers come up, I want to connect with them the same way. Now, exactly the same way. I'm just going to go to scripts and I'll grab a script, connect with my customers, right? So boom. "Hi, John, how are you enjoying the products?" You put the product in there. "Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help." Look, I'm going to copy that one. Just as an example. Okay, I'll paste it in there. Edit it. Hold on, be able to type it. Hurley, it's a cool name. "How are you enjoying Tower Garden? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help." Boom, great. Okay, same thing. I'm going to copy this. I'll toggle over to Facebook, look him up, send it. Okay, and then log it. And I'm going to go down my list on my customers till I hit my goal, which was 6 in my case. Now, really quick on this, it's just as important to connect with customers as it is with prospects. Okay, I just want to say it again. It's just as important to connect with customers as it is with prospects. You'll always hear people telling you to prospect, but I want you to understand that customers will bring you more business. Okay? The 3 reasons why you should be in regular contact with customers is this. Number 1 is the right thing to do, right? How many of you feel like that's good service? Yeah. And you need to provide good service. You're a business owner. Number 2, if you are in regular contact with your customers, and I'm not talking about trying to sell them or even talking about business, just staying in contact. If you're in regular contact with customers, they will order more products. This is a statistical. Okay, I got at least one English teacher on here. I think it's a statistical fact. If you're in regular contact, they will order more products. Leah was just saying at the beginning of the call how the team has grown 35%. since Teamzy has been involved, and you guys have really gotten after it and been consistent. That's the thing, is that just being in contact, people will order more products. They'll be more curious about what's going on. They're going to want to add to it. They're going to retain longer on their monthly auto ship orders. Okay, make sense? So if you want to just immediately get a volume increase, just be in touch. Number 3, how many of you would like new customers? Anybody would like some new customers? Let me see your hands. Where do you suppose you go to get new customers? What's the best place to go? Best place to go for new customers is to current customers. Okay, the hottest source for new customers is a current customer. What do people do when they're in love with a product? They talk about it, right? They can't help themselves. How many of you are like that? How many of you, that's why you're here tonight? Because you love the product and you started talking about it, couldn't stop yourself. Might as well get paid for it. That's what happened to me. Your people right now, your customers right now are talking about what you're doing with other people already. Do you know that 85% of Americans make buying purchases based on the recommendation of friends and family? Did you guys know that? Yeah. It makes sense, right? That means that the people that your customers are already talking to are ready to purchase because they're already getting it recommended by a friend. You've got people right now waiting to order. In fact, you've got people right now Googling your product and probably buying them from somebody else. Why? Because you're not in touch with your customers. Get in regular contact with your customers, be present, be available to them, and let them know, or ask them, are you talking to anybody? Is there anybody that I need to help? Is there anybody you know that could benefit from what I'm doing? And then get introduced. Okay, get introduced to them. Get introduced to them. Little side note, never ask them to refer you to other people. Ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Oh, just introduce me. Via Facebook message or text, just quick introduce me. I'll get them more information. Okay? It's way more proactive, and then you can really help people. All right, number 3, or the next category is distributors. So now I've talked to my customers, my prospects. Now I'm going to talk to my distributors. This is why we call it Teamzy, by the way, because we want you to build a team, a family. We didn't call it Leadsy, we called it Teamzy. And connecting with distributors is huge. They need to hear from you, especially when your team gets huge, especially then, because people don't feel connected to the leader when the team's huge. Having a Facebook group is great. Doing live Zooms is great. Hearing from you one-on-one, we've already talked about how powerful that is, right? The investment of time. Teamzy makes it easy to stay in touch with your team. When they come up, send them a quick message, okay? And that last list are follow-ups. So your power hour looks like this: prospects, customers, distributors. Probably take you 30 minutes to connect with all those based on your goals. And then now you're going to do your follow-ups list as the second half of your power hour. But my follow-up list is empty. How do I get people on my follow-ups list? So let me show you how this works really quick, and then we'll do Q&A. So I'm reaching out and connecting with people all day long. Hey, I hope you're having a great day, blah, blah, blah. People are responding. Hey, great to hear from you. How do I get from there to signing people up to my business? Here's the thing. As you're having a conversation, I'm going to go through this really quick. So, but hopefully you guys will get the nuance of this. As you're having conversations, so I messaged Lauren. Hope you're having a great day. She says, oh my gosh, Eric, thanks for reaching out. That's so nice of you. I am having a great day. What are you guys up to? We're talking, right? It's the holidays, which is easy. It's an easy way to talk, easy time to talk to somebody. Every big plans for the holiday? Yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. How about you? And we're just, catching up. I've got 2 birthdays. 2 of my kids have birthdays within 2 weeks of Christmas. So it's a very busy time for us. So maybe I'm talking about my kids, we're catching up, whatever, what are you up to these days? And in this conversation, just regular conversation, when you're catching up with somebody, I am going to share, write this down, what I do and why I'm passionate about it. I'm going to share what I do and why I'm passionate about it. I'm not going to say, would you like to join my business? Or would you watch this video and give me your opinion? Or any of those gag-worthy things that we're taught to do. But when she does say, how are you? I'm going to say, I'm amazing. You know that I haven't had a job in 3 years. I work for myself now. Oh, really? What do you do? And what's so amazing about it is that I get to help people all day long and be with my kids. And I'm over the moon with it. It's so awesome. Great. That's so good. Now, what happens when I share that way is her response is, wow, Eric, that's great. Or good for you. Or I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Right? How many of you would like that to be your response to your initial conversation about your business? Yeah, and that's what we're doing. By sharing your passion, what you do and why you're passionate about it, the response is, wow, good for you. Okay? And then all you do is you can just ask a simple question. Would you like to learn any more about it? Are you interested in learning more? Or are you interested in any more information on it? Okay? Are you interested in learning more about it? Simple. Now, Lauren says, no, I'm not really interested in that. Great. Great, Lauren. No problem. But will you do me a favor? If you come across somebody who's struggling with their health or their nutrition, or someone who's interested in learning more about this, would you please connect them with me? Because it's my passion to help as many people as I can. That's all. No's. So what you do with no's is you've had a great conversation. You've shown your care. You've reconnected with somebody. They know what you do and why you're passionate about it. And you're planting a seed for them to think about you when that problem you solve comes up. Make sense? You've invested in that relationship. Now, some people go, I am curious. I would like to learn more. That does sound great. Great. Those people who say, yes, I'd like some more information. Now you invite them. And figure out what you're going to invite people to. Is it a party? Is it an event? Is it a three-way call? Is it a virtual event? Is it to coffee? Is it to lunch? I don't know. What do you invite people to? Figure that out. And when people are interested, invite them. So let me show you how I do it in Teams, just as an example. Lauren says, yeah, I would like to learn more. I said, great, Lauren. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, tomorrow, are you around tomorrow night? Yes, I am. Perfect. My team's doing a virtual event on Facebook Live. I'll get you the link so you can tune in. You can learn all about the business in your pajamas. It'd be great. Oh, that'd be perfect. Great. I'll send you that link. I'll follow up tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Sound good? She said, sounds great. How do I do it in Teamzy? Notice Lauren's not on my dashboard, so I have to look her up. There's a lookup bar on the top. You can get her record. Okay, here it is. Here's her record. So I'm going to click connect to open that connect box. Now, what I want you to notice is, see where it says invite on the bottom left? I'm going to click on that because now I'm inviting her to something. Let's call this a business opportunity meeting. Okay. And so I'm sending her a link, and let's call it Facebook Live. Okay. Now, right here next to the invite is my follow-up. Now you can see Teamzy saw that I logged an invite and it put her on my follow-ups list, but I'm going to follow up tomorrow because that's when I said I'd connect with her. You can set your follow-up, right? You can set it for any date you want. You can do a custom date on a calendar, any date, but I'm going to set it for tomorrow. Now she's on my follow-ups list. When I log this connect, you can see the follow-up is set on her record. If I go to the dashboard and look at my follow-ups list, now there's somebody on it. Lauren's there, set for tomorrow. Make sense? So I'm having conversations. I'm asking people if they're interested in learning more. If they say yes, I'm going to invite them to something. Then I put them on my follow-ups list. So my power hour looks like this: prospects, customers, distributors, and then my follow-ups, working my list. So when I come in here tomorrow and I see Lauren there, now I need to follow up with her. Let me show you how easy this is. I'm going to go to scripts, Facebook, and I'm going to grab follow-up number 1. See it right there? It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? I'm going to use that script. By the way, for those of you guys who are scared of following up, I put my 10 follow-up scripts that work amazing in order, numbered in Teamzy for you. You really don't have to think, but I'm going to talk to you quickly about this, and then we're going to do some Q&A. Okay, so change the name. You do this just like a normal connect. We're going to copy it. I'm going to go up, find her in Facebook real quick. Oh, can't spell. Oh, look, it doesn't even matter. It knows who I want. Look at that. I love that. Okay, great. There she is. Send the message. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Send. That's how easy it is to send a follow-up message. Now, important, I got to set my next follow-up. So let's say I'm going to follow up again in 2 days. Okay, log it. So now she's back on my follow-up list for Wednesday. Wednesday comes along. I come in here. I see her on my list. I go to my scripts. I send her follow-up number 2. Now, real quick on this. You guys see how easy that is? Super easy. Nobody falls through the cracks that way. But let me just ask you guys something. Do you guys know this statistic that 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups? How many of you have heard that? A few of you have. Some of you are like, gads, don't tell me that. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. How many of you guys follow up 10 times, typically, consistently? Anyone? It's okay if you didn't raise your hand. Most people don't. And I don't really believe the people that do raise their hands most of the time. But here's what you need to know. Mind shift. First of all, how many of you guys don't follow up that many times because you're worried about being annoying? Okay. I'm going to teach you how to do it without being annoying in a second so that people will thank you sincerely for following up. Okay. You guys want to learn that? Okay. I'll teach you that in a second. First off, you need a mindset shift. Let me see by show of hands who truly believes they can change lives through this business. Oh, it's everybody. Cool. So let's change the statistic. Let's reword it. 80% of people whose lives were changed were followed up with 7 to 10 times. Does it sound different now, doesn't it? 80% of people whose lives were changed were followed up with 7 to 10 times before they started. See, what you need to understand is if you want to help people, you have to get them started. And the only thing that you can do to get them started is follow up. This is why I always say, write this down, following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. We think it's an annoying act, but it's an act of love. Does this make sense? Now I'm going to teach you how to not be annoying. But first you have to understand that if you love people, you have to follow up more. And when you fail to follow up because you feel like you might be being annoying after 3 follow-ups, what you've really told them is this: I just don't care enough about you to keep following up. I'm sorry. And that's what you're communicating. And think about it. Think about some time where someone failed to follow up with you. What did you think? That they didn't care enough, right? Some of you are like, oh crap. How do I go back and redo this last year? All right, don't worry. You just go in and you send them that first Teamzy message. Hey, it's been a while since I connected with you. How are you? Hope you're having an awesome day. Just start over, okay? Don't worry. But here's the thing. When you're following up with people, if you want to do it in a way that they thank you for it and they don't think you're annoying, you must follow these 2 rules. Are you guys ready? And if you use my scripts in Teamzy, they already follow these rules. You won't break them. Number 1, never ask someone to do anything in your follow-up. Never ask someone to do anything in your follow-up. Okay? Don't ask them to call you back. That's the worst one. Don't ask them to text you back. Don't ask them to respond in any way. Don't ask them to complete their purchase or RSVP for your event that you've sent them 11 invites to. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay? That's the first thing. If you've had a good conversation, they already know what you want. You don't need to mention it. Okay? Don't ask them to do anything. The work, in other words, you're putting the work on yourself, not on them. Make sense? Number 2, your follow-up needs to be in written format. In other words, like a text or a Facebook message, not voice. I know you guys love Voxer, but not for this. Not video, not, God forbid, a voicemail. Okay? Unless it's your grandma, you can leave your grandma a voicemail. But everybody else needs to be written. Why? Because you want them to be able to read it. And the second piece of this, it needs to be short so they can read it without opening it. Okay, let me explain. Look, I got a text right there on my phone. It's short. I can read it without opening it. Why is this important? Because I'm not going to respond right now, am I? I'm in the middle of a call with you guys. I'm not going to respond to that text. And I don't want him to know I've seen it because I can't respond. How many of you guys are like this? Your people are the same way. But when you force them to open your message, to read it, now they feel obligated to respond, or they feel like a jerk because they're not responding. And that makes you annoying. Make sense? So follow these 2 rules. Don't ask them to do anything and keep it short enough that they can read it on their lock screen without opening it and you won't be annoying. But here's what I want you guys to understand. How many of you guys have had somebody who's like super interested? You're so excited. You go on a team call and you're like, I got a new prospect. She's going to be great. She's going to be a builder. And then you follow up 3 times and there's nothing but crickets. I should see everybody's hands. Let's be honest. Here's what I want you guys to understand. if this is human psychology, the vast majority of people will not even respond at all. Zero, nothing but crickets to your first 5 or 6 follow-ups. Most people won't. And it doesn't mean they're not interested. It doesn't mean they don't love you. That doesn't mean they don't respect you. It doesn't mean anything. This is just the way people are. This is the way we're wired. And it's not rude. It's the subconscious mind running the show the same way it drives you home without you realizing you drove home. Make sense? If I had an hour, I'd go deep into why. All you need to know is it's normal for people not to respond. Okay? Now, what you're going to do with Teamzy is you're just going to send them this little message following those 2 rules so that you are staying top of mind with them. You're not asking them to do anything. You're just present for them. You're just encouraging them. You're just reconnecting them for a split second to the hope and excitement they felt when you first talked to them about the business or about the products. Does this make sense? And 80% will happen between 7 and 10 follow-ups. So what happens is you're going through, there's nothing, there's no response. You're thinking, this guy Eric's full of it. These people are never going to respond. I feel like a jerk. You keep going anyways. And then all of a sudden you get a message that says, oh my gosh, thank you for following up with me. I'm so sorry I haven't responded. And then they unpack all the excuses they came up with. First, the baby threw up on the dog. Then, it was dinner time. Then it was such a crazy week. And then whatever. Okay? Right? You guys relate to this. Some of you guys have this stuff going on. And they say, thank you so much. I so appreciate your care. I can really feel the love. This is the kind of things people say to me. And they will say it to you too. Okay? And then when you get that response, you say, no worries. I told you I'd be here to help you when you're ready, and I'm here to help you when you're ready. A lot of times that's when the conversation starts over. But this is where people let people fall through the cracks. If you continue to stay in touch with people, just follow the Teamzy process, connect with your prospects, your customers, your distributors, and do your follow-ups each day. Nobody will fall through the cracks. People will be amazed at your consistency. Does it make sense? Okay. Let me finish her off in the system, and then we'll do some Q&A. For those of you guys who still have a little stamina left, we'll do some Q&A. So there's Lauren. I'm going to look her up. I'm going to go to her full record, or you can just jump there by clicking on her here. So what I'm going to do now, I've gone into my back office. Lauren's finally, after months, oh my gosh, she made me pursue her for months, following up. She's finally signed up. So I'm going to log the sale in Teamzy just so that I can see that it resulted. And she came in as a distributor, so I'm going to click on application fee, great. And I'm going to tag all of the different things that she bought. Okay. So I'll tag all her products so that I know what products she's using. And then where it says member type, I'm going to go move her from prospect to distributor by clicking on it and then click on personally sponsored. Now she's moved through the whole process. I started a conversation with her, had a conversation, uncovered some interest, invited her to something, followed up. Now she's on my team. Okay. And so now she'll show up next time on my distributors list. Make sense? Okay. That is the basics on how to set it up and how to crush a power hour. Your job is to go in there each day and do your power hour. Now, those goals that we set, in my case, it was $150,000 income. It was 4,348 connects in a year. I want you to know it's a 250-day year. What does that mean? It means you can take weekends off. You can have vacations. You don't have to work on Christmas. Okay? You can have a life. It's an hour a day. It's not 7 days a week. You need to get consistent. It's the consistency that amazes people and deepens relationships. Your first job is to build trust. Some people may take longer because you haven't built trust with them. With me, I was able to find success pretty quickly because I had been in the trust building business already for a decade. So when people got a message from me, they already make sense. So this is the process. Okay, quick. I'm going to give you some action steps, and then you put your. Oh wait, there's no Q&A button. We're on a live Zoom. We'll take live questions for Q&A in a second, but I want to give you guys a couple action steps real quick. First action step is get your 30-day free trial started. Okay, get your 30-day free trial started. Go in there, teamzy.com/JP and get your free trial started. 30 days free, okay? If you're already in a free trial, get your subscription set up so you don't miss a beat when it's over. Get a 30-day success partner to do your free trial with you. Okay, I highly recommend this. Find somebody that, and it's not for life. You know, maybe you don't get along, and maybe you do. I don't know. But for 30 days, say, hey, let's do this together. Let's hold each other accountable to doing this. I want you to not sign up for a free trial and do nothing with it. Make sense? So what you do is each day after you've completed your Teamzy dashboard, you take the screenshot and you message that over to your partner. Ask them to do the same for you. What happens is you're doing great and then you fall off the wagon and then you get that message from your partner and you're like, ugh, I got to go do it now. But guess what? After 30 days, you'll have serious momentum going. And the last action step is I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. 5-day challenge. I want you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. That's what I demonstrated for you today, only a day. It could be any mix of customers, distributors, and prospects, but I want you to connect with 20 people a day for 5 days straight so that you can feel what kind of momentum you can create in just 5 days. Okay? You don't have to do that for the entire 30 days of your free trial, but just do it for 5 days. It will blow your mind how much momentum you create. Make sense? Now, just so you guys know, people that are Teamzy users who are active, who are doing what I showed you guys tonight, the same numbers that I demonstrated for you, they've been averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay? So if you guys follow the program, do what I showed you tonight, and go for it, you'll get great results too. All right. Who's got a question? Any questions? If you have one, just unmute and ask away.
Hi, Eric. Oh, wait.
Hi.
I'll put my video on. Sorry. Awesome job, first of all. And the question that I have is, once you've already loaded your Teamzy contacts and then you kind of been doing your thing and maybe you met like 50 new people and you forgot to add them each time, how do you do that without reloading it?
Okay, so are those people on Facebook?
Yes, they are. And is there also a way to do Instagram?
Yes. Okay, great. She's loading me up on questions. Okay, I can take it.
Might as well.
All right, so if they're on Facebook, you can just do a new Facebook import. Okay, if you've got 50 people, and Teamzy will not duplicate the people you already have. It'll just bring the new people over. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, for those of you, when you're getting into Teamzy, you have like a daily goal for ads, so you want to get all those 100%. It'll become addictive. So as you're meeting people on Facebook, the best thing to do is just add them as you go by, let me show you let me go back into Teamzy. By clicking this little add contact. Okay, so you can add people really quickly right there. You just put in their name, boom, and you're done. Okay, so if you get behind, like Deshaun was saying, then you can do another import. What I would often do is at the end of the week, if I was falling behind for the week, is I would go to Facebook and click recently added on your friends list, and it'll show you everybody you've added that week, and then you quick add them into Teamzy, which is one way to stay on top of it. The reason being that you want to do it quickly too, a good reason why you want to stay on top of it is because it makes sense to message them right after they've friended you, right? It'd be like, hey, it's great to be connected. And don't overthink that, by the way. So funny, I was just working with somebody that a real estate team up in LA that I do consulting with. We're talking about, what do you say when someone friend requests you? I said, just like everything else, don't overthink it. I just say, hey, it's great to be connected. That's it. Hey, Deshaun, it's great to be connected. Boom. That's it. And then what happens is they requested my friendship, so they're going to respond. It really is. Thanks for accepting the invite. Now you're having a conversation. Don't overthink that first message, by the way. Okay, just send it out there. The whole partnership between Juice Plus and Teamzy happened because I got a friend request from Sean Hopkins, and I said, hey, Sean, it's great to be connected. Okay? And he said, likewise, how can we work together? And I said, mute. Right? You with me? Don't overthink it. Okay, the second thing she asked me was Instagram. Instagram does not have an export feature like Facebook does. So Instagram won't give you your list in an easy way to upload into Teamzy. But what a lot of people do who work Instagram is they will go through and put new people they're meeting on Instagram into Teamzy. Now, what I recommend you do is add people as you're having a conversation with them. Makes sense? I wouldn't put all my followers into Instagram, but if you get a new follower and you message them and they message back, then I would put them into Teamzy. Make sense? Because then that's somebody that you could actually message and have a conversation with. So those people I would just be adding in with that add contact button as you go. But there are ways, if you want to get your whole Instagram list into Teamzy, Deshaun, you can look it up and Google it. There are apps that you pay for that will I forget what the engineers call it. They will scrape the list off Instagram for you and put it in a file. So you can do that if you want to. But I always recommend to go through Instagram, look at all the people who are actually interacting with you, and you put those guys in. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if you know, but Facebook and Instagram are the same company. So that's kind of weird that they wouldn't even make that. But good to know. Thanks.
They are the same company, but they don't have all the same functionality. The teams don't work together. I actually went and toured Facebook, and I actually, one of the 4 founders of Instagram toured me around Facebook. A friend of a friend. It was kind of wild, right? And he actually inspired me to start Teamzy. How cool is it? Because he was telling me the story about how they started Instagram. And they are completely separate. Like, they don't talk to each other. They have their own engineers, you know? So anyways, what else? Who else has a question?
Hey, Eric, it's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
I have a couple that people brought up, and I feel like I really struggled with this one prior to, doing the Teamzy bootcamp. And that was the concept of a connection. So, for a lot of us, thinking about sending just a message, we don't think of that as a connection. We feel like it needs to be like an actual conversation where they're responding or where we're picking up the phone and calling them. So could you share a little bit kind of the philosophy behind that and how that helps us get through the power hour?
Yeah. Okay. So if you're messaging people, let's say Facebook Messenger is my favorite way to message people because it has the best response rate. Okay. So let me just say that. Everything you do doesn't have to be through Facebook, but Facebook Messenger has the best response rate. So that's what I like to use. So you message, let's say 10 people come up today, prospects, and you message all 10 of them the same message. Just, hey, I hope you're having a great day, whatever. You might have 4 or 5 of those people respond, and the rest won't respond at all. Okay, so first off, I want you to not worry about the ones who didn't respond at all. You don't need to follow up again with them at all. Don't worry about them. Okay, they'll come back on Teamzy based on their star ranking in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever. And then you'll message them again then. The ones that do respond, now you have an opportunity to actually have a conversation. Okay? But people like to communicate via Messenger and via text message because they're busy. That's the way most communication happens nowadays. The state of California, how many of you guys live in California? California, they love taxes in California. Oh my gosh, they love taxing us. California wants to tax text messages because people don't talk on the phone anymore. And they used to get revenue from taxing telephone lines. This just shows you the shift, right? You follow the taxes. They want to tax that because that's the way people communicate. So you're sending messages to people. Some of them respond. You have conversations with them. Some of those conversations fizzle out quickly, which is fine. Again, those people will come back up on your list again down the road, and they'll get warmer over time. And just a couple will be great conversations. So to answer your question, Lauren, most of those people you're not having a deep connection with, and that's okay. They're not in a place to have a deep connection with you right now, which is fine. You're going through your list, you're connecting with people, but you're doing it in a way that's loving, that's not alienating people. And you guys will spend time and energy on the ones that are ready to have a conversation. Does this make sense? But I will tell you this, and I have come up against a lot of old school trainers with this. But people do not want you to randomly call them on the telephone. How many of you guys hate it when your phone rings randomly and you see an unknown number on your phone? Let's be honest. They don't want that. However, if I'm messaging you, oh, it's great to hear from you. Oh, what's going on? We're messaging back and forth. It's totally awesome to say, hey, do you have a minute for us to catch up, maybe jump on the phone or a Zoom right now? Like if you're messaging back and forth with someone, then you say, hey, let's, are you available to jump on the phone right now so we can catch up, or jump on a Zoom right now so we can catch up face to face? Yes, that's appropriate. It's appropriate to set an appointment to get on the phone, but not randomly call people. People hate that. Does this make sense? Because you can connect better that way. So to answer your question, Lauren, I don't know, I answered it like 5 different ways, but most of the people you're not going to have a deep connection with, you're just going to make their day. They're going to smile when they see your message, and that's it. That's okay. And then they come back on your Teamzy list periodically. People who do respond, you have great conversations with. And then the people that you can go deeper with, yeah, jump on the phone or a Zoom. Make sense? Okay.
I have a question. This is Vienna Childers. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Great. So kind of piggybacking on what she was just talking about, does Teamzy automatically put the stars in there based on the conversations that we're having, or are we putting the stars in there? I kind of got lost there.
You're going to rank people based on just your gut, how you feel about them. Okay. Now, Teamzy will put everybody in as a 3-star to start, because 3 stars kind of in the middle. And then what you're going to do, Vienna, is you're going to rank them. So you're going to go through, what I recommend doing is just go through your list and look for the 4 and 5-star people, the people you feel great about, and rank them up so they show up more often. Makes sense? But you can change people's ranks as you go, but definitely take a first cut during setup. Because otherwise, let's just say you have 3,000 people that you're friends with, right? It will take you months to get through all 3,000 people, and you may not be connecting with your best people at all during that time. You want to make sure you get to your best people first and that they come up more often. Make sense? That's why we rank. Okay, hope that helps. Any other questions?
I have a question. So tags is something that I have been using a lot more. Probably the last 6 months I've used it a lot more. And I'm really beginning to love what they can do when I think long-term for keeping track of things or searching things easily. Could you speak to that a little bit, or how you recommend, because I'm even thinking myself, like, if I think long-term, what's the clearest way to think through how I'm tagging things? Does that make sense?
Yeah. First off, I want you to know, in the Help Center, I did a full hour training on tags, on how to really leverage them in your business. So take a look for that training in the Help Center of Teamzy. It's a free training that's in there. So for those of you guys who are watching tonight going, wow, I need to get going on Teamzy, don't worry about what we're talking about right now. Your job is just to get in and do your power hours. The tags, I did mention it a little bit tonight, but the tag allows you to tag anybody with anything you want. What a tag does is it creates a group. So let's say you tagged everybody who's a veteran with the word veteran. Now you can click on that tag and see everyone in Teamzy who's a veteran. Why would you do that? So you can send them a note on Veterans Day. Do you know how much more impactful it is? Rather than putting a beautiful post on Instagram or Facebook that says, Happy Veterans Day to all my veterans, how much impactful it is to message them individually and say, thinking about you today, thanks for your service. For example, Mother's Day, Veterans Day. But also, I like to tag people for the products that they're buying. So let's say, everybody who buys a certain product. So when you have a business, and your business is like any other, people buy one product from you, they're more likely to buy other products. So you want to look at, okay, well, everybody who bought product A, I can click on that list. Everybody who bought that product, and now I can talk to all of them about product B. Hey, since you're already using product A, here's product B. You get a new launch, you can pull up who bought similar things in the past, and hey, we got a new launch you might be interested in. So tags, there's so many different cool ways you can use tags. You can tag all your local people. I like to tag local. How many of you guys do in-person parties or events? So you tag all your local people with the word local. Then when it comes time to do an invite, you hit local, and boom, you have a list of everybody who's local, because you're going to be meeting people on social media that are all over the country, right? So you'll have all your local people that you can invite. So these are just different ways that you can create little subgroups in Teamzy and leverage them with tags. If that makes sense. And you can add tags on their record. You can add them on the dashboard. You can add them pretty much anywhere. I'll show you where. So if I'm on the dashboard right now I'm looking at Julie, I just go over here to details, and I can add a tag right here. Oh, there's my veteran tag. Boom, and it's added right to her record. Pretty easy, right? If I'm on her actual record, then the tag is right. See, there's that tag I added, so I can add another tag. Make sense? And then your tags are over here, so you can click on it and see the list of everybody who's on that tag. Okay? Cool? Does that help? Now, let me show you where the training is, the full training on this, for those of you guys who like watching me for a long time in trainings. This is the Help Center. And then right here under Pro Tips, under webinars, organize your contacts using tags. There's the training right there. Okay. Cool. All right, let's do one more question. I know you guys have been with me a long time. We'll do one more, and then I'll bless you and send you on your way. Anyone else? Okay. Well, look, if you guys have more questions, you can send them to support@teamzy.com, and the team will help you if you need help. But definitely get in there, get your free trial started. Those of you guys who are already using it, we're so glad that you're part of the Teamzy family. Oh, and by the way, wanted to also let you know that when you're done with your 30-day free trial, because Juice Plus is awesome, they've negotiated a deal for you guys. So you pay a lot less than everybody else. It's only $19.95 a month to have a subscription to Teamzy after your free trial. That's like 80 cents a day to have all this planned for you. So definitely get in there and take advantage of that. We don't discount this ever for anyone else. And the normal price is $29.99. That's what everybody else is paying, all your friends and other networks. That's what they pay. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. Lauren, thank you for inviting me tonight. Hopefully this was helpful to y'all. God bless you. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks
So
much.
much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Great
Thank
call.
you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Night, guys.
Thank you.